Hardy slammed both his fists down on the table and he stood up and he said, "Damn it, Taylor, why would you say that in a room full of 8 writers?" I couldn't tell you who threw what word in or when or where, but when Blake came on board, it was kind of like, man, if I had a bucket list, I'd be just checking things off left and right. We wrote that song in Texas. We do a writing retreat every year, and that year was me, Hardy, Brock Berryhill, Taylor Phillips, Josh Phillips, Randy Montana, Will Weatherly, Jake Mitchell. It just the list goes on and on. I mean, you got a laundry list of who's writing awesome stuff in Nashville. We go down to Texas, we shoot some stuff, hunt some stuff, and write some songs. And one night it was like 3 a.m, so you can imagine there had been some extracurriculars going on. I think some of the boys might have been in the bottle a little bit, and I might have spent a little time with Willie Nelson. We were just having interesting conversations, and Taylor Phillips spouted out something about, man, I hope I'm in heaven by then, or something remotely close. I remember Hardy slammed both his fists down on the table and he stood up and he said, "Damn it, Taylor, why would you say that in a room full of 8 writers?" You know, just ideally you want an idea like that to come up in a room of 2. Or 3 at the most. But I will say it was kind of cool to have all those guys on it. We were all sitting outside. I couldn't tell you who threw what word in or when or where, but it was kind of cool to have a lot of the guys on one song. You know, it was the guys that weathered the storm and stayed up that late, got their name on it. And it was a special song, man. And to me, it's kind of about being an old soul and, you know, feeling like the world's kind of running off and leaving me behind a little bit. And that's the case, and I'm all right with it. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in society right now I don't understand and don't want to. When Blake came on board, it was kind of like, man, if I had a bucket list, I'd be just checking things off left and right. But I've always been a fan of Blake's, man. I mean, back from Austin, and you know, Old Red was a jam of mine. But more than that, I love the guy's music, but he's one of those that's been the same guy every time I've met him. He's always been kind to me and everybody with me, and he's just a solid ass dude. So him getting on the song meant the world to me. He obviously delivered and just killed it. And every now and then, you know, when you write a song, you can hear the feature in it, you know, or what the dream feature would be for it. And I gotta say, we heard him right off the bat. And so for him to agree to do it was kind of like master plan coming together, you know. But he came and knocked it out of the park, and then, you know, when we listened to the first mix back with Blake and I on it, there was an obvious high harmony that was missing. And it's something that Brock was doing and nailing it, but we were just kind of joking around, and man, if Vince Gill was on that thing, he'd slay it. And that turned into calls being made, and man, when Vince jumped on board too, it was like, man, this, you know, kind of a pinch me moment. I always tell people, God gave, you know, angels voices to humans. He gave them to Vince Gill and Allison Krauss. He's got one of my favorite vocals of all time, and his guitar playing. He's just an insanely talented artist, and man, and he's another one that's been kind to me and all my guys every time I met him. So it's a special song. I feel like it says, you know, what it says is special, and you know, I hope a lot of folks can relate to it.